1 Kings chapter 18. And after many days it came to be that the word of Yahweh came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go present yourself to Ahab, and I'll give rain on the earth. Therefore Elijah, went to present himself to Ahab, and the scarcity of food in Shamron was severe. And Ahab had called Obadiah, who was over his house. Now Obadiah revered Yahweh exceedingly. And it came to be, while Jezebel cut down the prophets of Yahweh, that Obadiah had taken 100 prophets and hid them 50 to a cave, and had fed them with bread and water. And Ahab said to Obadiah, Go into the land, to all the springs of water, and to all the wadies. It could be that we find grass to keep the horses and mules alive, and not have any livestock cut off. And they divided the land between them to pass over it. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. And as Obadiah was on his way, then see, Elijah met him, and he recognized him and fell on his face and said, Is that you, my master Eliyahu? And he answered, It is I. Go and say to your master that Eliyahu is here. And he said, What have I sinned that you are giving your servant into the hand of Ahab to kill me? As Yah your Elohim lives, there is no nation or reign where my master has not sent to look for you. And when they said, He's not here, he made the reign or nation swear that they could not find you. Now you say, Go say to your master that Elijah is here? It shall be as soon as I'm gone from you that the Ruach, the Spirit of Yahweh, takes you away to a place I don't know. And I shall come to report to Ahab, and when he does not find you, he will kill me. But I, your servant, have revered Yahweh from my youth. Was it not reported to my master what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of Yahweh, how I hid 100 men of the prophets of Yahweh, 50 to a cave, and fed them with bread and water? And now you say, Go to your master, Elijah is here, he'll slay me. And Elijah said, As Yahweh of hosts lives, before whom I stand, I shall indeed show myself to him today. Obadiah then went to meet Ahab and informed him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. It came to be when Ahab saw Elijah that Ahab said, Is that you, O disturber of Israel? And he answered, I have not disturbed, but you and your father's house, in that you have forsaken the commands of Yahweh, and you have followed the Baals. And now send and gather all of Israel to me on Mount Carmel, the 450 prophets of Baal, and the 400 prophets of Asherah, who eat at Jezebel's table. Ahab then sent for all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets on Mount Carmel. And Eliyahu came to all the people and said, How long would you keep hopping between two opinions? If Yahweh is Elohim, then follow him. And if Baal is Elohim, then follow him. Baal is a false god. But the people answered him not a word. And Eliyahu said to the people, I alone am left a prophet of Yahweh, but the prophets of Baal are 450 men. Now let them give us 2 bulls. Let them choose 1 bull for themselves and cut it in pieces and lay it on the wood, but light no fire. And I'll prepare the other bull and shall lay it on the wood, but light no fire. And you shall call on the name of your mighty one, and I'll call on the name of Yahweh. And the Elohim who answers by fire, he is Elohim. So all the people answered and said, That word is good. And Eliyahu said to the prophets of Baal, Choose 1 bull for yourselves, prepare it first, for you are many. Call on the name of your mighty one, and light no fire. So they took the bull which was given them, prepared it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, answer us. But there was no voice, and no one answered. And they leaped about the altar which they had made. And it came to be at noon that Eliyahu taunted them and said, Cry out loud, for he is a mighty one. He is meditating, or he is busy, or he's on a journey, Or it could be that he's asleep and has to be awakened. And they cried. They cut themselves according to their ruling. They cut themselves with knives and spears until blood gushed out on them. Ew. Oh my. They're doing all of this for a God who does not even speak. And it came to be when midday was past that they prophesied until the time of bringing the offering. But there was no voice, and no one answered, and no one paying attention. Then Elijah said to all the people, "Come closer to me." All the people came closer to him, and he repaired the altar of Yahweh that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the word of Yahweh had come, saying, Israel is your name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh, and he made a trench around the altar large enough to hold 2 seahs of seed. And he arranged the wood and cut the bowl in pieces, laid it on the wood, and said, "Fill 4 jars with water and pour it on the burnt offering and on the wood." Then he said, "Do it a second time." They did it a second time. And he said, "Do it a third time." They did it a third time. The water flowed around the altar and filled the trench with water too. And it came to be at the time of bringing the offering that Eliyahu the prophet came near and said, "Yahweh Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in Israel, let it be known today, you are Elohim in Israel, and I, your servant, have done all these matters by your word. Answer me, O Yahweh, answer me. Let this people know that you are Yahweh Elohim, and you shall turn their hearts back to you again." Then the fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt offering and the wood and the stones and the dust, and it licked up the water that was in the trench. And all the people fell on their faces and said, "Yahweh, he is our Elohim. Yahweh, he is the Elohim." Hallelujah. And Eliyahu said to them, "Seize the prophets of Baal. Do not let one of them escape." So they seized them. And Eliyahu brought them down to the Wadi Kishon and slew them there. And Eliyahu said to Ahab, "Go up, eat, drink, because of the sound of the noise of the rain." And Ahab went up to eat and to drink. And Eliyahu went up to the top of Carmel, and he bowed down on the ground and put his face between his knees, and said to his servant, "Go up, please. Look closely towards the sea." So he went up and looked closely and said, "Not a speck." 7 times he said, "Go again." Back and forth 7 times. No rain, right? And it came to be in the 7th time that he said, "See, a little cloud as small as a man's hand is coming out of the sea." And he said, "Go up and say to Ahab, hitch up, go down before the rain stops you." And in the meantime, it came to be that the heavens became black with clouds and wind, and there was a heavy rain, while Ahab rode and went to Yisrael. And the hand of Yahweh was on Eliyahu, and he girded up his loins and ran ahead of Ahab to the entrance of Yisrael. Hallelujah.